Alright, so this is page 246, number 23, and what I went ahead and did is I gave you the information that we found in class. So we were given this equation to start with, and we were given a graph that looked like this, and they said to find the shaded area. What we needed to do was find the points of intersection, one that happens here at 1 when x is 1, and one that happens when x is 3. We did that in class, and then we came up with this equation. So to write the integral, what we're needing to know is that we're going from an x value of 1 to an x value of 3, so that's why I'm traveling from 1 to 3. And my upper bound is the line, this line right here, and the lower bound is our curve. So I went ahead and I just said root 3 minus 3 over 6 times x plus 9 minus root 3 divided by 6, quantity divided by 6. That's the upper bound, and from that I'm subtracting x to the negative half because that's the lower bound, and I technically should have this a little like that. Okay, alright, so let's integrate. So as I integrate, I'm just going to write my fractions out front. So when I add 1 to this, I get an exponent of 2, so that means I divide my fraction by 2. I'm going to actually just go ahead and multiply by 1/2, because that's the same thing as dividing by 2, and it'll keep things a little neater down the road. Okay, this one, I don't have an x, so my integral is 9 minus root 3 quantity divided by 6 times x minus the integral of this, which is 2x to the half. Okay, and we are going from 3 to 1. Okay, so basically everywhere I see x squared, I'm going to go ahead and put, or x, I'm going to put 3 in to start with. And I think this is where people kind of got messed up when we were doing this in class. So 3 squared is 9. And then I'm going to go ahead and simplify, right? I'm going to basically make my denominator 12. So I'm going to say 9/12. So I said 3 squared is 9 times 1 is 9 over 12. And then I'm going to leave what's in parentheses with the exception of the denominator and the parentheses like this. Okay, everybody with me so far? Okay, plus, when I put 3 in, I end up with 3 over my denominator, which is 6, times 9 minus root 3. So I'm not distributing this, and you'll see why here in just a second, minus 2 root 3. I'm going to shrink this down so I have room to write. Okay, so there is when I substituted a 3 in. Okay, I'm going to write this in pink below, and then I'll shrink it down to. Alright, so now I'm going to do the same thing with 1. So when I put 1 in, we end up with what we started with. So in this case, I have 1/12 times root 3 minus 3 over 6 plus 9/6. Oops, not 9/6. Sorry, 1/6 times 9 minus root 3 minus 2. Okay, I'm going to put this all in parentheses because what I need to do is I need to actually subtract this from this green part here. So I'm going to shrink this down, and then we'll talk about maybe what happened. Okay, so here's the deal. You'll notice, oh, I made a mistake though. Hold on for 1 second. I don't have a 6 here. That's actually, I pulled it out front. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that's good enough. So basically what you're going to notice is that I have root 3 minus 3 and root 3 minus 3. So basically I can combine these two terms because they share a common root, or a common binomial as well. So I could say 9/12 minus 1/12, which gives me 8/12 times root 3 minus 3. Okay, here I'm sharing 9 minus root 3, so I'm going to go ahead and combine those terms. And keep in mind that this negative is affecting here, which is why I subtracted, and it affects here. So I have 3/6 minus 1/6, right, because minus 1/6, which is 2/6, positive, times quantity 9 minus root 3. I still have nothing to combine with this, so this is minus 2 times root 3, and then minus negative 2 means plus 2, okay? So, oopsie. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I don't know why that's not going back in, is I'm going to go ahead and simplify here. So, I'm just going to go ahead and distribute. So I have 8/12 times root 3 minus 8 times negative 3 is 24 divided by 12, so minus 2. Plus 2 times 9 is 18 divided by 6 is 3 minus 2 over 6 root 3 minus 2 root 3 plus 2. Excuse me. Alright, so basically all of my non-root 3's are now whole numbers. So I end up with negative 2 plus 3 plus 2, which is just 3. Okay? Plus, now I'm going to go ahead and get a common denominator. So I'm going to rewrite this as 8/12 root 3, and my common denominator is going to be 12. So I'm going to times this by 2, I'm going to times this by 2, so I get negative 4/12 times root 3. This is 2 over 1. I'm going to multiply this by 12 and this by 12, so I end up with minus 24 divided by 12 times root 3. So now I can combine all of these pretty easily. So 8 minus 4 is 4. Minus 24 is negative 20. So I end up with negative 20/12 times root 3, which equals 3 minus 5 root 3 divided by 3. And that's what they asked us to show. And the reason I got that is I divided this by 4, and I divided this by 4, and that gave me 5/3. Okay, and I just rewrote this as one fraction instead of 5/3 root 3. Alright, so that is how you do that problem.